Preparing to stream. Awesome. I think we should be
I have
live now.
one question on it.
Yeah. Let me just go on far away and then we'll remember, we'll pivot back and we'll have a bit of a poke around with the code that associates issues with merge requests and see if we can figure out.
So the question I have is, I have an issue. Let me pull up the issue and share my screen. So in here, come on, share window. You can see my screen, right?
I can indeed.
Oh, let me put that up here. So in here, I have this chart one, right? It gives me a label of group distribution.
Yes.
Group distribution looks to have been removed from the group list.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I was confused as well.
Is it as simple as restarting the AI service?
I don't think so. I do need to dig in. I think you've created an issue, or did you just ask in Discord? I can't remember now.
Just Discord. Do you want an
Okay.
issue?
It would be helpful, yeah, if you wouldn't mind. So what we've got with group distribution is they use, I don't even know what I call it, like almost like a third tier. So where like most of our groups are scope labels with like group design system, group database operations, group development analytics, etc. Distribution is group, distribution, and then another segment, which is either build or operate.
Well, even in there, I still would expect to see distribution because it's distribution hyphen build, isn't it? For the label.
No, it's got another double colon actually. But the way that we extract, I'm not going to dig too deep, but let me just share if I can find the one. I'm going to try and find the code. You possibly already looked at it anyway, that extracts the groups and categories. So yeah, it takes them from, so how do I copy URL? So I've popped the path to the Ruby file in the chat, and it pulls from some JSON files, and I'm going to basically have a look if distribution's in there.
Distribution's not in the groups JSON, which I would expect it to be.
So that's basically the reason why. And then it's more of a, I don't know what you want to call it, shift left, right? So what's causing that sort of thing, and figure that out.
Right. And because I was taking a look at it and how I diagnosed it down is you're getting that every time when you do that, you load that JSON once into the Anthropic, but you're loading it every time when you pull from the JSON or when you grab the. It's like you're caching it almost.
Yeah, absolutely. And I must admit, when you do just rouse.cache, I don't know if that caches indefinitely or if we should be sort of providing a like an expiry of like an hour or something like that. Let me Google it. Yeah, it persists until app restart. So we should definitely, if you fancy spinning up an MR, by all means, Jim. I wonder how often, I'd be inclined to.
I'd be happy with once a day, I think.
Yeah, probably. Probably. But yeah, I think there's almost two issues there. Feel free to only create one. It's up to you, but one for the distribution thing and one for um, basically setting a timeout for that cache, because yeah, I think that could cause issues. Although we do deployments pretty frequently. In fact, it might even persist across deployments because we're using Redis. So I guess Redis possibly doesn't restart. So
Well, Duo's giving me the code for 12 hours, so it might just be 12 hours.
oh, what is saying that that's the default, or
Well, it's saying to a good time is 12 hours.
I'm not sure if that was just a bit of background noise or um, sorry, Jim, you're saying 12 hours.
So yeah, it's saying here it persists indefinitely, like you were saying,
Yep.
until application restarts, depending on the cache store configuration. But you have Redis, so it probably won't be.
Yeah.
But it's saying here, uh, they just gave me the 12-hour.
Oh, okay, just randomly. Yeah, I mean, again, I think that's pretty good. Like, yeah, I think pretty flexible to start with, but yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right, I will create an issue and an MR for that.
Hero, thanks, Jim. So going back now, my brain. Joel, what were we talking about a minute ago? um, oh, sorry, not Joel. Jose, is it? I pronounce that correct? Oh yeah, we were talking about the adding of the reference to an issue in an MR. So I'm gonna see if I can share my screen. Okay, so Terraform Pro, I was going to go and see if you've created an issue. Contributors, I know I've definitely seen it somewhere, but I'm not sure if it's an issue or Discord. Awesome. So I'm going to take the opportunity to just. Oh yeah, although I did say we probably need to move this. I'm not going to label it with contributor success yet, because I think this is more of a GitLab problem than a contributor platform problem. So yeah, if we go to your.
Hello.
Hey Marco.
He's alive.
Yeah, good, you?
Yeah, all good. All good.
Long time no see.
Yeah, I was finally able to join. A bit late, but yeah.
Happy to see you. Jumping into a few little bits and pieces at the moment, trying to figure out why some scenarios like this, when an issue is referenced in an MR, it doesn't appear in this sort of section down here. So I did have the docs up the other day. GitLab auto close issue. So closing pattern. So resolve, resolves, and resolves are all in there. So I would expect them to. Can't see any sort of like extra typos or white space. What I am going to try is.
Is that merge request going to merge into the default branch?
Oh, That's an interesting one. No, it wasn't. Is that
Good
something?
point. Good point.
Is
That's it.
that
I think is that because actually the point is that all merge requests I have done in that repo aren't done in the main branch because it's for the release client 1.0. So
awesome? Well, Marco, your work here is done.
you think that is the
100%. 100%. If you see here, it says if a commit message or merge request description contains a text, and it says either it's merged into the default branch or the commit is pushed to the default branch. But then this is talking about commit messages.
Yeah, but it's the
Yeah,
same.
but I have a question because I understand that about the auto close feature, you know. If, for example, is the MR is merged, then the issue is closed. I understand that, but I think that even though it is not against the main branch, it should be marked as a linked issue.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but this is GitLab functionality, right? So what I'm also a little bit interested in is because I'm sure there's another pattern that you can use. Well, in fact, it's not even I had I feel relates or related or something like that. So here it says if you include, where was the list? I had a list a minute ago of
Closing patterns.
oh, was that?
Well, no, that's only fully related. In theory, if I remember correctly, even just referencing the issue should show that.
Well, yeah, this is the thing though. I think that there's a difference, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. I think if we change this to so it's 2150. I mean, it might be a bug completely, but yeah, maybe it is then. Maybe it is. See, I was thinking only if it was closing, it maybe.
I would try that with the merge request that's not already merged, because I wonder if that
So
merge details are
Yeah.
computed
if
at
it
merge
is
time.
merged, if it's already merged, it will not do it. It only happens when that merge event happens.
Okay. So let me look at my merge requests.
We had somebody who refused to do commits properly at work.
What do you mean?
Oh, they wouldn't label their commits or anything. And so they would spin up random MRs and get them merged by someone else. And then I had to go back and try and fix the issues, and it would not work.
Set up Dancer to check commit messages and enforce them.
I don't have that power, Marco.
Okay.
Okay,
You
so
know
if
Yes.
yes, so that's the difference between mentions issue
And close.
and so your syntax, excuse me, was resolved. So that should change to closes rather than mentions. So there's a differentiation or a distinction between, yeah, closes. Now what I'm going to try is targeting a different branch. Actually, shall I remove let's remove that first so that it's clean.
And that should still tell mentions. Yeah.
Oh, so it doesn't care.
Yep.
It doesn't care what. So
all it's doing is just checking whether you are referencing an issue using one of those closing patterns. Otherwise, it's always a mention.
Oh, okay. So any mention false. Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, so but we've got rid of it now. Now if we target a different branch.
It also does that as well if you put a comment in, for, at least for the mentions, right?
I never tried that, but I guess so.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. We'll try that as well in a minute. I think it adds in the issue, it adds a link to the MR, but I don't think it adds anything down here. But we'll test lots of scenarios. So yeah, now if I just mention one. No, yeah, I would say that's a bug. Definitely, I think if you're not targeting the default branch, I agree that it shouldn't automatically close, but I think it should still say that it references.
Now the question is, where is that being computed?
So yeah, the first thing I think probably we've got at least one more item on the list, I think, to talk about. So what I would be most inclined to do is chat. Oh, did I do that? Let's go back to GitLab. Yeah, what I just want to do is ask a question. Oh, that's fun. We've broken agentic chat. So what do I want to say? I think we've found a bug when a merge request description says knows it correctly only, I'm going to say interprets this if targeting the default branch. This is then just going to fail anyway, right? However, this is really knackered, isn't it? That's annoying. Wow. However, simply referencing an issue, I would expect it to interpret. That's more what I'm interested to see whether I can, or whether Duo can find an existing issue about this.
I think this one is fairly similar.
You drop one in.
17868.
You say 17868.
Yep. I put a link in chat if that's easier.
Oh, thanks.
I think it's at least related because it's
Merge it. Okay. This is a bit confusing though, because this is mentioning a merge request. Why would you mention a merge request in a merge request?
I found where the mention issues are getting computed.
Does it look like a simple
I suppose this part of the logic is written in Ruby, no?
Yep.
Correct. So you created an ML. So chat has died. Excellent. Definitely the next steps are, Marco, it'd be awesome. I'll drop this in the chat if you could add a link to the file where this is happening.
Yes.
And we definitely need to try and find an existing issue. And if there isn't one, we move this into the main GitLab project, I would say. And potentially spin up an MR. We can dig into it depending on other stuff. I think we had at least one other thing to jump into. I'm going to pronounce your name completely wrong, but Mifradevi, did you have something you wanted to look at together? Feel free to drop it in the chat if and when you're ready. Meanwhile, yeah, should I?
I have a comment, but it is more like a general question about GitLab, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe you prefer if I ask it at the end or something like that?
No, I think go ahead. Yeah, now's as good a time as any.
Okay, well, I have been, you know, like reading a lot about the culture in general and those things. And I have a doubt about I have seen you know, we have those badges of level 1, level 2, etc.
Yep.
And we have one which is like core team member. I would like to understand what does that implies, and if that means that you work for GitLab or like you are like a community super level contributor or something like that.
Yeah. Let me drop this. Let me drop this link into the chat. So there's a page on the website about the core team. It's primarily the wider community, but you can see there are like myself and there's a few GitLab team members that are part of the core team, but it's primarily meant as a bit of a sort of bridge, if that makes sense, between the community and GitLab. So I'd say have a bit of a read, especially the handbook page explains like the core team get access to some of our internal Slack channels. They get developer permissions on our canonical projects. And a few other bits and pieces like a free ultimate license, etc. So yeah, have a read and chat if you've got any questions.
Okay, so and basically, okay, yeah, I understand. I think I understand. But it's not like that you work for GitLab. It's like you
No.
are some kind of I don't know, like a mediator between the community and the own GitLab team.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the core like mission statement says that you know you help to grow the wider community and act as a steward and help us live up to our mission and values. So, you know, Marco's a core team member, Jim's a core team member, hopefully. And I still am, but was before I joined as well. So
And
it
just for me to understand, I mean, because but I mean, because I would really like to get involved. I know everything takes time. I perfectly understand that.
yeah.
I would really like you know, like to get involved about a GitLab because I have really liked the culture, those kind of things. But um, what would be like the difference between choosing or the core team? Of course, you need to be approved. I understand that, but what would be like the difference between the core team or working for GitLab? I mean, instead, definitely one of the differences about that you get paid, but no, I'm honest, you know,
No,
but
yeah, absolutely.
with talking about that, what is like the difference? I would like to understand because I want to like to have a path, you know, and I would like to be focused on that path, and I would like to understand.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, what we don't have is kind of like a black and white. Here's a checklist of criteria for the core team, right? It is something that's the core team or other GitLab team members will nominate community members who have kind of made sustained contributions over a period and seem to sort of embody the values, if that makes sense. So it's people that seem like a really good fit. In some instances, I think like mine wasn't, I had no intention on joining. So it wasn't like a path to join GitLab, if that makes sense. And we definitely have other core team members who are in similar situations where they're perfectly happy in their role, but they have a passion for GitLab, they have a passion for community, and they're I don't know if subject matter experts is quite the right terminology, but you know they're ingrained enough in the sort of ecosystem, the product, the project, etc. So yeah, when it gets to a certain point where you know like where to ask for something, who to ask for something, you know, which group something belongs to, which part of the project, you know, all that kind of intrinsic knowledge, then we tend to invite people. Yeah, so it's very much like someone that's a community player, been making kind of sustained contributions in different ways as well, right? So what we tend to avoid is someone that's kind of just making code contributions. But if somebody's joining pairing and answering questions in Discord or on the forum or making translations or, you know, finding different ways and sort of being involved, that's kind of more what we're looking for. People that I don't know, yeah, can represent the community. I hope that helps a little bit.
Thank you.
But have a read up and feel free to reach out to like any of the core team members as well. Like Marco, you might want to have like a coffee chat or something at some point, or you know, just to learn a bit more about the journey, because I think that's really interesting as well. I think there's a number of us with a similar journey where we use GitLab for work. And you know, maybe we were hacking some stuff or building some add-ons or whatever, and then started to sort of explore the actual open source nature and make some upstream contributions, and just got kind of sucked in more and more into, like you say, by the culture and the values. And yeah, I think it just gives you that warm fuzzy feeling, which is kind of what we're looking for.
Thank you.
No problem. So thanks for sharing that issue. So the initialization for component file depends on this. Okay, so this is what? So it's a bug. Oh, it's a good couple of years old. Okay. Since file type is required. Hi.
Hi. I made an amount there, but the pipeline is not getting passed.
Okay.
And is there are issues with the storybooks initially.
Let's have a look. sometimes you do get transient errors. I imagine that you might get some failures because we've got some like additional spacing that's creeped in. We should only like have a single blank line between these methods and between these. So that Rubocop might be complaining because of that. But let's just have a quick look. So you're using the community forks, which is great.
And also, it was saying that there has been a timeout failure or the job got stuck. But,
Yes. So I think that that's definitely a bit of a transient issue. Could I ask you to do you have the ability, do you see the visibility to just run a new pipeline? I can do it, but if I do it, it will be very different to you running a pipeline. So it would be great for you to trigger one and
sure.
yeah, see what happens. So it's a merge request pipeline, not merge results as well. So the other thing we might want to do is rebase. It's probably not compulsory, but it is better for community pipelines to be not too far behind. And this MR branch is now 7,000 commits behind the canonical, the master branch. But yeah, I would say start another pipeline, see what happens. If that's still failing, then rebase. And I thought that there was a UI. No, there's not a UI way to do it. Oh, sorry, not a UI. There's not a button, but you can use the rebase quick action. So if your next pipeline fails, try rebase. And if that fails, let me know. And I'll just
Okay. But I previously rebased it, and there was it was saying that there might be issues with the labels, and I mean, I'm not understanding that what uh, labels could be cause the issues there.
no, I don't think labels would be causing any issues. I can't see. I mean, it doesn't appear to have been rebased because there's only one pipe.
Previously, it was earlier, but I would try it again, rebase.
Interesting. It says this is stuck as well.
The MR? The pipeline?
Yep.
I don't see it as stuck. Oh, well.
No active runners. Oh, tell me this hasn't happened again.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
You have runners though.
For forming inputs, do we need to add proper labels? Because the agent is suggesting that adding proper labels would be useful. I was stuck in there actually because labels in a sense might be what labels do I need to add there?
Well, I mean, it's got a type label and a group label there, the kind of most important ones. The fact that it's stuck. Yeah, let's stop that pipeline. Can you try that
Does it
rebase?
pipeline?
Go on.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, if you try the rebase, that will automatically, well, if the rebase is successful, that will automatically trigger a new pipeline.
I wonder also why
Does it?
it's not a merged result pipeline.
I don't think when a wider community contributor does an MR, don't think it's merged result normally. Let me check.
Because being that old might have something to do if there were made some changes.
Yeah, I definitely think they're going to be in a lot of changes since then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have any other caches or anything, so it's having to re-download everything.
You picked not a good example.
That's what I thought. But why is it flagged as a...
He's a core team member.
And that's
Okay.
on the local or on the main.
And this one's a G. Honestly, I can't pick any. Right, come on, this one's got to be normal, right?
I've never been able to, Lee.
Yeah, merged result.
But
yeah,
that was...
but not the... Yeah, that's from whoever opened the merge request.
Yeah, so all the ones by the person, by Wesley, are all merge request, and then
Okay.
I guess is a team member. GitLab team member. So yeah, it's merge request. So question is, was the rebase successful? I can't see anything yet.
It might take a while.
Yeah, absolutely. Or it might even fail because it's so far behind. If it does, you might need to
It's not reporting any conflict, so
it's not, but I don't know exactly how rebasing from the UI works. But I think if the command maybe takes a long time because it has to apply a lot of commits, then it might just time out or something like that. I think it might be a bit more brittle or fragile than it is when you're doing it via the command line.
Yeah.
And that would be operating. Would that be operating from the fork source, or would that be from the upstream source?
It will. Oh, that's a good question. I
think it's the fork.
Yeah.
Because if the fork is behind
either way, it doesn't matter because the fork is synced pretty frequently with canonical. So sorry, you was...
But I would update once I have rebased it. I think.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, it will also take some time to compute the difference.
So I know, Jim, I think you touched on at the beginning that this just shows what every day is like, where I end up with 18 tabs open. That's optimistic, isn't it? We were talking about the labeler font. The first question is, how much do you love or hate our new coin term, labeler font?
Labelathon? It's always so fascinating where in English you put able or athon at the end and it always becomes something else.
Yeah.
Issuable, merge requestable.
Yeah, that was my only I don't know what you want to call it, like hesitation around it, was like trying to translate it.
Yeah.
But because it's right next to the hackathon button, I thought, nah, maybe it's... But like obviously you want to keep stuff short and sweet, right? And the other options were a bit like label contest, label competition, triage, something. They were all just a bit horrible. So
bug bash.
Yeah, but that's not what we're trying to do, right? I don't know. But anyway, so I think that there's a lot of room for improvement. But we just wanted to get something out there, right? And Marco, Jim, we talked about this in Amsterdam a month ago now, right? That like one of the things we want to do is promote non-code contributions, right? So this is something that you've been able to do for quite some time now to label issues. But we're not really promoting it in any way. So if we start shouting about this event a little bit, then for the next 5 or 6 weeks, we get people going through this backlog of. So this specifically is issues without a type label, which our old ML triage bot or our new AI triage bot have already attempted to label but failed for some reason. So yeah, I'll try an example maybe in a second. So yeah, let's just pick one and see if we can do it. If sort by close date in issue, then cannot search the issue list. Nothing can be searched out. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is pick a smaller project to test this on, because I know that the main one is a bit big. So if we go into the issues list, we're saying if sort by close date, so sort by, guess we have to be on the close. No, we don't have to be on the close tab. Interesting. Okay, so it just doesn't really work if you do it not on the close tab. Understandable. So closed April, June, July. So that seems to be working for the sorting. So it's saying you cannot search. Okay, so what word appears in multiple?
Bug.
Sounds good to me, Jim. I think that's working. So there's 39 now. Before there were 145. Is it still in order? Ooh. Did you see that glitch? Oh no, it's still doing it. These are absolute dates, and these are relative dates. What happened there?
So
But that's
it's over a certain number of days it does it.
oh cool. A year, I guess.
I think it is a year.
Oh, that must be new, I think. I don't know. But
Yeah,
around.
I think the same, because even there are only the 3 first when you sorted. The 3 first were the ones with absolute
yeah.
date.
Yeah. So I think that's working fine now. So we'll close this as not reproducible, right? So we don't need to, well, I say we don't need to label it. We could label it and then close it just for demonstration purposes. So we'll label this issue. It's definitely project management. Team planning seems right. I guess it was, don't know whether it would have been a back end or front end issue.
I typically label both if it's something like that, because
if you're unsure. I think I'll just leave that one. So we'll update that. Now that should take us, back to here, because we want to go and label the next one, but I'm going to go back and it should show now that
how often does that leaderboard get recalculated?
Oh, good question. I think it'll be every 5 minutes. I'm just going to now close this one as not reproducible. And excellent. Oh, Jim. Oh, Jim.
Damn.
Yeah. So we're there. I don't know if it's a bad idea. We're pretty much at time anyway. But in terms of kind of, yeah, immediate thoughts on quick wins, I'm probably more than anything, rather than asking for like, how can we improve this, is like, how can you improve this? Does anyone want to take a stab at? I think maybe my primary thing would be to tweak the leaderboard, polish it a little bit, so it looks a bit more like this one where it shows the username. And in fact, not this one, the hackathon one. Do we do it? I don't think we do it anymore. No, we show the rosette next to the people in first, second, third, etc. Jose, far away. You had a question.
About how to improve the label-a-thon. Can you go to the view one moment?
Absolutely. Let's get rid of that one. Yep.
This is just a little detail, but I mean, I think the UX could be improved in the progress bar. That there is a number, I suppose it's like the percent of
Yeah.
the field percent, but I
Yeah.
think I mean this is not my specialty or something like that, but I think that could be improved. I think it is pretty small and to a border. Just that comment is something that came to my mind.
Yeah, it's really frustrating actually. So there's two things that I want. Number one is I want the percentage symbol next to it. Number two is I want it here in the middle. I don't want it over here in the unfortunately we're using Bootstrap View, and we can do it, I think, but it's a bit of a manual effort, if that makes sense. Like natively you can add you can
Yeah,
like
it looks like it always adds the progress at the middle of what you have achieved.
exactly, and it
But I
doesn't.
think maybe using absolute positioning or something like that, maybe it shouldn't be a big. I mean, I'm just
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's something that we'd welcome a contribution for, and it might be something that we could even try, like asking AI if it could help us with something. But I suspect, as I say, but the beauty at the moment is that we're using B progress, and all we have to provide is a value and a maximum, and it does everything itself. If
yeah,
we
no,
want to pivot, then we have to then use B progress and B progress bar. We have to start like calculating stuff ourselves, and it just
yeah,
gets a bit
I
messy, you know.
understand it is a bit. It
The
is a bit.
other thing we could consider doing, and there's a funny backstory to this as well. We could consider just removing the number, and or where we've got this comment here, we could sort of say, or we could show a big circle saying what percentage or whatever. The funny thing is, so this is something that feedback I provided when me and Ariana were working through this. And do you know why Ariana wanted to keep the percentage?
Because I suggested it to her.
Exactly. So I was like, that's good enough reason for me. So yeah, like I definitely, I'd like it to have a percentage symbol next to it. I'd love it to be in the middle, potentially a little bit bigger. Agree with that. But it's not something I imagine that our team will work on. So if anyone either wants to create the issue or create an MR, then please go ahead.
So the question I have, can you go to the hackathon page, please? So can we get a fancy picture?
I mean, we can, but we'll have to ask for it, and whether it'll actually be delivered before the end of the event, I don't know.
I didn't understand the question. Can we get what?
Like this sort of banner we've got here, like a similar banner on this page, essentially. So yeah, we could definitely ask. I wonder if there's a way. What we probably want is these assets split up in such a way that we could maybe reuse. Like if this was an image without the word hackathon on it, and then we could just put the text in maybe, or something like that. Or yeah, I don't know. That might be a better. I'm definitely, like, I don't know what the word is, on the fence or devil's advocate or whatever about these images as well, right? They make it look a bit fancy, but they also just waste a whole load of space, right? Especially when, so one of the things that we were sort of, I don't know what you want to call it, quite keen on is having like the blurb, the sort of thing that you can actually act on, and the leaderboard all like appear on the screen. Like if we had that open by default, then all we would see was blurb. Or if we put the leaderboard at the top, and once you've got a few more people partaking, then that's all you're going to see. Sort of same thing. So obviously, if we add a big image as well, that's the other issue or concern. That it'll just shove everything down the screen, which, yeah. Percent is doable. Centering is different. When you say percent is doable, Marco, do you mean like out of the box or with a bit more hackiness?
Hackiness.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in which case, like, both are definitely doable, but it's just, is it worth the custom?
Yeah, no. I think that's the point, because if it will be, like it will break like the way how you explain me the code, that it is nicer just like that way. Or, that is not a big issue or anything like that. So
Absolutely, but at the same time, as I say, if someone wanted to work on it, we'd definitely be happy to accept it. But yeah, this was very much.
Is there an issue for that?
I don't think so. I wonder if we should just have a single. Let's have a look if we've got. Don't know what issue label suggestions. Okay, so that's about that. Yeah, I wonder whether we should probably, it'd be nice if we had a feedback issue for this, where we could collect all feedback rather than creating lots of little issues. One thing, so we're really keen to get this out quickly. There's a couple of things, like there's some test gaps. The test could definitely be better, and the code could definitely be polished a little bit more. I don't know if you saw the technique, like, so when we redirect back to this page, we're trying to get it to like make the API call again, so all this data gets updated. Interestingly, I think it did. I think it made the API. I don't know. I'm sure when I was testing it last night, there was a bug with that. So I think like a feedback issue would be nice, so we can maybe polish it a bit. But it's all going to be based on us being able to reuse it, I think, because this is a one-off event initially, to help reduce our sort of untriaged backlog, to promote non-code contributions. That's the primary two sort of reasons for doing it. But I think going forward, I'd love us to do like a translation hackathon, and do a what else do we do as non-code contributions, like Discord and forum post hackathon.
Translation-a-thon.
Yeah, exactly. Just like encouraging people to, promoting the fact that there are other ways to contribute, encouraging people to contribute in those ways. Yeah, that'd be really awesome. So yeah, I think polishing this is definitely it's like not a high priority, but I don't think it'd be a wasted effort because I hope that we'll be able to reuse the polish in future. Right, these numbers have definitely changed, haven't they, while we've been here. So yeah, I think it updates, if not at least every 5 minutes, which is when we ingest data from GitLab. And after ingesting the data from GitLab, I think we run a refresh on the view. Oh no, you know what? Now I've said it, this should be real time actually, because we're not using the view. Just confirm that. It's the hackathon controller. No, we are. Sorry, forgive me. No, what am I? I'm really confused. Views recent activity where added labels is one. I think I've overcomplicated this massively. There's no need for it to use that view. I'm just going to see if this page works locally quickly. And if it does, last few seconds of this call, I'm going to try and improve because, yeah, this is really unnecessary. So I just need to figure out how to share. I'm going to share something different. Share advanced. Where is it? Share portion of screen. Okay, so contributors. Yeah, I don't know. Must have had a bit of a moment there because we should be able to go straight to I suppose we're leveraging this, but that's no biggie. But we should be able to do bonus points. So has bonus points got a, it's got awarded between. So then we want where activity type is label. And we want to probably going to completely smith this, but let's just do this first. Okay. So we've got user ID. So let's group by user ID. Oops. Right, so I think when you do that, do I need to now select specific? Yeah, so confuser. So yeah, so we've now got an array of user ID. and that. So we can now put our order clause back in, right? Yeah. But we're missing the username, so we just need to add the username in there. So do I need to join user? And then yeah, so you can't use the terminal in the web IDE. Did you try with the quick action / rebase? Just if you add that in a comment, that should do the trick. Which column is ambiguous? Could it be user ID? No, it wouldn't be user ID. Oh, some points. Bonus points. That looks like what we want. So if I save that, have I broken it? It's still returning data.
And the same as before.
Yeah, what I don't know is 0.9 milliseconds. That's quite impressive, isn't it? What was the code before? Oh, interesting. This is what we had before. .6 milliseconds.
Improvement.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane when you're talking about those kind of margins, but it is insane to use the view to get this data. So I probably will push that up as a change because, you know, we're only interested in the activity from this table. So why use that view that's got an incredibly complex logic on being built? So I might just push that up. Awesome. Thanks everyone for joining. Hope to see you all next week or see you around on Discord.